I am Christine Javlieris, and I am the ambassador and sponsor of the Mendham, New Jersey Park Bench website. And today, this afternoon, I am interviewing Maria Pascale, and she's owner of Get Organized with Maria. So, Maria, so nice to have you here. I haven't seen you in a few years, so it's nice to reconnect.
Well, yeah, last year was a blur, so
Yeah, it was
yes.
a blur. You're right. So I just wanted to kind of ask you, you're the owner of Get Organized with Maria, such a snappy name. I love it. And explain kind of what inspired you to like begin this type of business.
Well, a lot of times people ask that, and I say I've kind of been doing it forever. I've come from a large Italian family,
Okay.
3 older brothers, a younger sister. My parents were in real estate. They had their own little mom and pop, real estate office. So honestly, at a young age, I realized that if my parents came home and the house was in order and things were calm, which does, bring calm to the chaos, right? With so many kids, that, everything just was a lot nicer that evening. So that's why I say I've been doing it forever, as well as my 3 brothers had ADD, which we all know is an organizational challenge in and of itself. And I just naturally took on this role of helping my mother, which I guess is a little bit cultural too, but that's kind of what happened, honestly. I grew up, I went to school, I wanted to be a teacher. And so there's a lot of innate, desire to help and to teach. And while I did do that, it was after I got married that I started having my own children and was not teaching. And, at that age, your friends are getting married and moving out and moving in and things like that. And by nature, you go and you help them. And it was really my friends who encouraged me. They said, Maria, you need to get paid for this. Like, you're doing everything so quickly. Like, we could have never been unpacked or packed, et cetera, with whatever their needs were. So it was really a word of mouth thing. As I had children, whenever something came up, my mom would take care of the kids, and I would go and help somebody to, purge and pack and stage their home and basically do almost everything that I'm doing now on a professional level in my business. So finally, it came to the point when all 3 of my children were in school that I was able to really take it more seriously, as well as it was growing so much. My husband said, you can't keep putting these checks into the personal account without having,
That's a good thing.
being official, really. So I went LLC, and I had more time, and ability, and my business just really grew rapidly because there is a need, not only, although a lot of my business is when people need to move, they're in a house 10, 20, 40 years, and they need help to purge everything that is unnecessary that they're not taking with them anyway. And then, of course, stage the home. And then once it sells quickly, because it always does when it's staged properly, then I help them to pack it up, and in many cases, meet them on the other side and help them unpack.
When did you officially start your business so that you were, really working?
Officially, I would guess you would say when I formed my LLC. So that was in 2010. Had been, doing it 10 years prior to that. So I also became certified with NAPO, the National Association of Professional Organizers, because you need an X amount of hours and to show that you have enough hours. A lot of people say, do you go to school to be an organizer? So there's business classes that you could take to run your business and things like that. But really, it has to be, I say, it's kind of like being an artist. You can't really just decide I'm going to be an artist and then go, and draw a beautiful picture. It has to be there has to be some natural ability, So I just had this natural ability and thought process. And then you grow and you learn and you do better.
You're certified in home organization. You're also a certified home stager, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And you just told us the services you provide. Now, I'll tell everybody a little bit about how you and I work together. From my broker, Jeff, said, you must Get Organized with Maria. So I said, tell me about her. And then I met you and we hired you for that house in Sussex, New Jersey that I listed. And your team let me just say this, not because I know you, but your team worked unbelievably tirelessly hard to pack up that 6,000 square foot home, uh, purge the stuff, put stuff down in the basement that was going to be taken out for garbage with your collaboration with Remove All, and then packing up everything to get it, you know, organized. Um, you guys did an unbelievable job. And these are people who had a lot of stuff in their house for many years that it was a cluster. It was. But you did an unbelievable job. And I can't thank you enough for that, because that is it. And you were on the ladder cleaning the chandelier, and
Yes.
you're only a little petite flower. I said, how is she doing this? You're lugging the
Small but
boxes.
mighty.
It was like, I'm not in this good of shape, and she's littler than, petite than I am, and she's doing it all. So you did an unbelievable job. And if people aren't,
I appreciate
I encourage them to call you up and get a quote and meet you, because you're wonderful to work with. You do have the panache and the skills for packing things up. You know what you're doing. And you were in the house almost 3 days. I mean, with your two team members. I mean, it was just amazing to me.
We did make it happen, and I am proud to say that's what people say most often, is that you made it happen. And that is just something, that I thankfully have in my brain, that I can compartmentalize what
Yes.
needs to be done and multitask to make sure that, yes, we're purging and we're going through things. Yes, we're packing. We're leaving out what needs to be staged. I'm coordinating when Remove All comes in, who I work with all the time, because not only do they remove everything that needs to be removed, but when it comes down to staging, a lot of times we need to move this couch to that room, or that bed, or that dresser. Pieces of furniture a lot of time need to be placed somewhere else in the house where it just looks better. And so they come in with the true muscle. I mean, I like to think that, I'm really strong, but
Yeah, no, but when
but,
you're home,
obviously,
like that.
yeah, you have to call the professionals in. So I have a lot of people in my back pocket. I also work with John from Discovery Antiques, who does estate sales. So when the time comes that everything, sometimes we do a sale before it even gets on the market, depending on the timing, because I know you want everything on the market last week. So that's why I try to work really fast. But then sometimes, we could put things aside, and once the house sells, then we can I would call them in as a subcontractor, and they can do a whole house estate sale, because many times there is situations where maybe people are downsizing in general, going to assisted living, going across the United States. That's primarily what I do, and obviously why you would call me as a realtor, as well as I have many clients that I go to seasonally who just have large homes, small homes, busy lives, things get cluttered. Children are always bringing things in. Adults are always bringing things in. And whenever you bring something in, you have to take something out. Otherwise, you lose a place to sit pretty soon. And it happens.
Right, it does. So tell me, we've been in COVID-19 for the last year. Has your business been affected by it at all?
Well, I would say that it certainly has changed because of it. So initially, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Like everyone else, those first 2 weeks, it was, quiet, because we thought it was going to be 2 weeks, right? And ironically, I think by into the second week, I had a vacant home that I had, vacant meaning that the people weren't living there, but I had staged the home, and there was still personal effects in it, and the woman had moved to the next place already. So since the home was empty, I was still then able to go in, obviously masked, and and pack things up, hire a mover. So my bottom line is I did keep working. What was reduced was my personal, like my one-on-one clients that had me come in to organize for the fall or the spring. They were afraid to, some of them were afraid, and then others were like, as long as you have a mask and gloves. And we took every precaution. I went into like empty apartments actually in New York City, because the people fled the apartment, and they mailed me the key, and I went in and packed everything up, had a mover come in, and take their things to storage. So I kept busy because there was really a need.
So what do your clients enjoy about working with you and your
Well,
team?
I like that question because while I'm known for being very professional, on the flip side, I think what my clients enjoy most and what I even enjoy most is, one, I enjoy people. So, you know, there's all flavors, right? And really it's just true. And it really just doesn't matter because I enjoy people. Sometimes people are difficult. Sometimes people are
Right.
high maintenance. Sometimes, let's face it, tons of people have OCD. Not that that's a negative thing, but I say it because they're very particular. And a lot of times they can't get themselves organized, even though they compulsively want to be, because if they can't do it perfectly, they don't do it at all. So that's where I come in. So there needs to be a high level of trust and an ability to be comfortable with me. There's a lot of times a lot of shame around clutter, and they don't want anyone to come into their house because they feel, it's such a mess. And people say all the time, oh, don't run away, or that it's so bad. And it really rarely is. And as well, I work with hoarders, and a lot of times there's people that they need to show this house and clearly cannot show it in this, scenario. So yeah, so I have the ability and the sensitivity to work with people and help them to purge what they're able to purge, and to maybe offsite storage things that they are not yet ready to let go of, because that's a big concern. People are like, she's going to make me get rid of everything. And that's not my goal. My goal is to help you balance what you need, what you want, and what shouldn't be in the house is the bottom line.
Moving can be an overwhelming experience for many people. It can be emotional, especially if you've been in a house where you've lived for 30 some years or more, and you're downsizing. This is where we raise the kids. Now we're going to go to a smaller condo, in southern New Jersey. So it is an emotional journey, and you try to make it, as the trust has to be there. You have the responsibility to do what you need to do as a stager and as an organizer, and myself as a realtor, in order to get the house on the market, get it sold quickly so we can get them from point A to point B, in a positive manner, in a nice manner. It shouldn't have to be doom and gloom.
No, and as a realtor, I know that you could relate. You just never know what hat you're going to be wearing, because it is a very personalized business, and everyone has a different scenario. I have clients right now who are in their home 40 years. They go down to Florida every winter. I met with them a few times before they went to get the lay of the land, what was staying, going, etc. They're moving down the shore, down LBI. They go to Florida every winter. So I had to pack up what was going to Florida, what was going to LBI, make sure the proper things went to donate. Then I actually UPS'd many boxes to 3 children that lived around the United States. Then stage the home. And also I bring in, when necessary, I will bring in staging items if people need pictures or bedding, or, whatever, on shelving, things like that. I have my own arsenal, I call it, to fill in any gaps. And, and I've basically been taking care of things soup to nuts, dealing with the realtor, and, when things have to be ready, getting the cleaning ladies there. So I say it's a la carte. I tell people I will do as much or as little, as you need. And a lot of times when we go through the bullet list then of what we have found, people say, oh, I'm fine with getting a cleaning person. Can you, get a mover? And we work together. We fully become a team, and you end up getting quite a few jobs sometimes, or little tasks that you have to do to help them. Because some clients, especially when they're elderly or just overwhelmed with business, they need all that extra hand holding and help.
Right. And it's good to be, that's what I love about doing real estate. I love being a realtor. You love doing your organizing and your staging. It's wonderful. So what do you enjoy about working with your clients? Because you told me about what you enjoy about your business, but what about your clients?
Well, I'll tell you, I have, over the years, many of my clients are friends. And now when I work with them, I say my client friend, because you really do get close with people, you know, because you get to know them. And I think what I enjoy about my clients is they're human beings, and
Right.
I love people. I could not imagine having a job. I have been, you know, I've worked for different people that said, we could use you in our company. We need someone who thinks like you and a problem solver and all these things, and who could, you know, kind of get things done. But I want to be somewhere different almost every day. Now, granted, you
Right.
know, you're going to
Right.
do a few days at a job maybe, or I'll go, you know, kind of come back around and help them get it to, you know, on the market. And then I'm coming back to, you know, pack it up, whatever. But in general, I love always meeting new people. I love getting to know people.
Okay. And then any final thoughts you want to share with anyone who comes to the Mendham, New Jersey Park Bench site about your business?
Oh, well, you know, on final thoughts, I remember you had sent that in the email, and if I had any final thoughts, and I would like to say that it's been a pleasure working with you, and every, you know, time that we've talked, whether it's turned into a job or not, or we just had some feedback, it's such a pleasure. You know, of course, I work with a few different realtors because
Sure.
I'm in their back pocket, and that's what, you know, I appreciate the most is, you know, having those solid people and being appreciated as well as appreciating. But you know, it goes a long way. And in general, I guess, just in final thoughts, I don't just, although that is a primary time to help people when they're moving. But I always say I help whether you're moving or just need help to stay. Organizations just a phone call away. So I do go into a lot of
Right.
people's homes and just get ready for the fall, the spring, Christmas. People are coming to visit. They're having construction and a room needs to be cleared out. Closets need to be emptied because they're doing construction. So I help them to purge and pack and then move back into those spaces. And a lot of times people are doing construction, you know, like say in a main area like a kitchen where it really needs to be practical. And while, of course, I'm not a kitchen designer, but I can speak with someone about what works for their lifestyle, because a lot of times they'll get these big, beautiful kitchens and it wasn't set up practically for them. So they'll usually like get a design and I'll say, you know, well, maybe this cabinet could go over here and this would go over there. And because I know you now and what works with you. And I don't need to spend a ton of time with someone, usually just talking with them, because what I do is I organize somebody the way they need to be organized, what's going to work for them, giving them systems that they can maintain. And while they might, you know, things might get out of hand in 6 months and I can come back, you know, that's okay. But in general, people's lives really do change, and organization makes a difference, you know, bringing calm to the chaos. I mean, life's chaotic enough.
Right.
So it, you know, so it's not just moving, but I
No,
do
it's really, you're right about that. It's not just moving. It's
yeah.
about, it's a life.
Getting settled on the other side.
Right. It's when it's needed in your lifestyle. That's basically
Yes.
what it comes down to. This
Yeah.
has been great, Maria. You're just a joy to see again. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for meeting with me. And I hope our visitors at Park Bench will definitely go to your website, get organized with Maria, and learn about what you bring to the table to get them into an organized and decluttered mode. Thank
Yes.
you so much.